If your bird photos keep coming out blurry, the fix depends entirely on which type of blurry you're seeing. And most tutorials only cover one of them. In this video, I'll cover 3 types. Number 1, the entire photo is blurry. Number 2, parts of the bird are blurry. Number 3, the bird is blurry but the background behind it is sharp. I'll also cover a bonus reason at the end that most photographers never even consider, and it has nothing to do with your settings. In this example, your entire photo is blurry. This is caused by one of 2 things: the wrong autofocus settings or the wrong shutter speed. For birds, especially moving birds, you want to be using continuous autofocus, called AFC in Sony and Nikon cameras. This is where the camera will continually adjust focus, keeping the bird sharp no matter where it moves. If you have a stationary bird that is completely at rest, you can use single servo AF or AFS in Sony and Nikon cameras. That's where the camera will focus on one point in the scene and will lock focus once it's achieved. But of course, the problem you have there is if that bird decides to move, you are then left with a blurry photo of a bird. There is a technique called back button focusing that allows you to use AFC the entire time. And I talk about that in another one of my videos. I'll link to that in the top right-hand corner of this video and in the description below. The other issue you might have is you're using the wrong focus area. Perhaps you've chosen a wide focus area and the camera has been trying to choose a point in that wide area to focus on, and it's been adjusting at the time you took the photo, causing your image to come out blurry. If you were tracking a moving bird and the entire image is blurry, your shutter speed is way too slow. A shutter speed that is too slow can also cause parts of the bird to come out blurry, and we'll look at that in the next part of the video. In this scenario, only parts of the bird are blurry and some parts are in focus. So for example, the bird's body might be sharp and in focus, while its head, its legs or tail are blurry. What's happening in this scenario is your shutter speed is too slow. The bird has been still, and as you took the photo, it's moved its head or its legs or its tail and they have blurred out because your shutter speed was too slow to freeze the motion. For stationary birds, you want to start with a shutter speed around 1/500th of a second. For birds in flight or moving birds, 1/1500th of a second should be your base shutter speed. Now, whether or not you freeze the motion of the bird depends on the speed of the bird for starters. Some birds move faster than others. It depends on the focal length of your lens. So for example, with the Sony 200 to 600mm here, if I'm shooting at 600mm, any movement I make here at the camera can cause blur in the photograph because it's zoomed in so far. So I start at about 1/2500th of a second if I'm photographing moving birds. And it also depends on the steadiness of your hands. If you're very shaky here behind the camera, if you've been carrying your camera and lens around for a while, your arms are a bit jittery, that will mean you will have to use faster shutter speeds as well. Now here's the one that really trips people up. What if your shutter speed is right, your focus is locked on cleanly, but the bird is still blurry and the area behind it is sharp? I'll show you exactly why that happens. If you want a quick reference for birds in flight and other nature photography settings, check out my nature photography cheat cards, link is in the video description. In this case, the bird is out of focus, but the background just behind it is sharp, or a tiny amount of the background behind it is sharp. This can be either a focus area issue, or depending on the type of camera you're using, it could be something called back focusing. If it's a focus area issue, you have chosen the wrong focus area. For example, you may have chosen a wide focus area and the camera has been searching around in that big frame looking for something to focus on, not knowing that you wanted to focus on the bird, and it's chosen something just off to the side or behind the bird. This is especially common when shooting through foliage or with a cluttered background, something that we have a lot of here on the mid-north coast of New South Wales. The other thing you might have done is chosen a single point focus area, and you've had the point on the bird as you were taking the photo, but just as you pressed the shutter button, you moved slightly and your focus point shifted off the bird to the ground just behind it. The solution is to be more attentive and make sure you keep that focus area on the bird, or adjust your focus area. If you're using a Sony camera and you're using a flexible spot, just make sure you keep that spot on the bird. You may want to try using a medium or a large spot instead of a small spot to give you a bit more room for error. If you're shooting with the Sony camera, you might also want to try using a zone focus area. This widens the focus area just a little bit, so it gives the camera a little bit more choice, but not too much to confuse it. If you're using an older DSLR, this could be an issue called back focusing. This is rarely an issue with mirrorless cameras, as they focus differently to DSLRs. It's where the area just behind the subject is in focus, which is back focusing, or it could be the reverse, where the area just in front of the subject is in focus. That's called front focusing. It's caused by a mismatch between the autofocus sensor and the image sensor, or it could also be a lens calibration issue. A lot of cameras will have an AF fine tune setting within the menu where you can adjust this. If you're using a cheap DSLR or an entry-level DSLR such as my Nikon D5200, you will not have this setting in your menu, and you'd have to send your camera off to the manufacturer if you've got a really bad issue with back focusing. But if you're using a Nikon D750, for example, you will have an AF fine-tune setting in the menu where you can adjust this and pull the focus back to exactly the point where you want it to be. Now the bonus reason I promised earlier in the video. If none of the three types of blur matches the results you're getting, it might be your lens that's working against you. This is an image softness problem more than a blur problem, but to the untrained eye it could appear to be blur. And it's caused by shooting with your aperture wide open or closed right down. Many lenses will take softer images at their widest aperture or their smallest apertures. For example, with the Sony 200 to 600mm lens here, the widest aperture I can choose at 600mm is f6.3. And I find that when I take photos at f6.3 at 600mm, a lot of them will come out so incredibly soft that they almost look blurry. The sweet spot for a lot of lenses is f8. And that is the aperture that I recommend you use. Of course, you can experiment with your lens to see which apertures give you the sharpest photos, but I always use f8. It means that I have to use higher ISO values to get my exposure correct, but I prefer to do that than to filter through 50 images taken at f6.3 to find one or two that were sharp enough to use. Oh my God. That was amazing. So good. Oh, wow. That was so good. An osprey landed just meters away. I'll show you the photos, but it's just like 5 meters away from me, just landed. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Oh God, I love birds. Okay. So there you go. 3 types of blur and the solutions. Now you know which one you're dealing with. I'm going to explore the beautiful Look at Me Now headland here in Emerald Beach on the mid-north coast of New South Wales. I'm probably going to chase that osprey, to be honest. He's just back there on the rock, if you can see him. I'll put an arrow in the video. So amazing, he just landed right there. Watch my back button autofocus video that is linked here to my left, and get my nature photography cheat cards to find the best camera settings quickly for different nature photography situations. That link is in the video description. Until next time, I'm Barry from Photographer's Freedom. Get out here, take some wicked shots. I'll see you soon.